Scott Maphuma is dedicated to failure.
Every video that I see of this guy, he's disrespecting people.
From saying he doesn't owe his success to anyone, even the very fans who put him in the position he's in. To straight out shoving them off him when one fan asked to take a picture with him. Well, in the music industry, success can come and go, but sometimes staying humble can be what makes you last the longest. Scott Maphuma is one man who chooses to ignore this number one rule.
Because at the end of the day, when you're an entertainer, the people are who make you.
It's the people who make you, bro.
Scott Maphuma is going to unalive his music career and status quick if he continues this way. Be humble, bro. It seems like the man has let fame get to his head, forgot to stay humble, and while he continues to make significant strides in the amapiano music scene, however, his recent incidents have finally sparked public backlash.
Scotty Maphuma, you gonna Puma very soon.
One that has finally led to some questioning his conduct and its potential impact on his career. Today we're looking at the downfall of Scott Maphuma, the man who lets fame get to his head. While being known for his captivating stage presence and infectious rhythms, Scott Maphuma has swiftly made a name for himself within the South African music scene. Tracks like Yebo Lapo have taken social media by storm, particularly the platform that seems to make everyone famous these days, TikTok. A platform that helped Scott Maphuma gain major attention when one of his songs finally blew up across South Africa. However, before becoming quote-unquote the next big thing in amapiano music, Scott Maphuma had dreams of one day becoming a star in football, even nearly pursuing it as a profession. But sometimes every football player comes face to face with the hard reality that he may not be good enough to go all the way to the top. Walking away can become the hardest but smartest decisions one may take. And with Scott Maphuma later redirecting his focus to music, it seems like he faced his truth and made his decision. Finally starting his music career in the year 2017, with his passion for music becoming deeply rooted in his experiences of growing up in Daveyton, a place that is better known for being a hub for music and cultural expression, boasting one of the largest art centers in the province of Gauteng, and being home to many musicians, DJs, and even actors. Now, as a product of his environment, Scott Maphuma would later seamlessly transition into a storyteller as he started making music as casual jam sessions with his friends in local venues. These performances showcased real talent to the people who attended them, which then later led to the creation of their first recordings. Amapiano is a South African music genre that blends deep house, jazz, and even some of Kwaito influences. Known for its smooth melodies, long drum bass lines, and laid-back yet danceable vibes. A genre of music that Scott Maphuma would later use to reflect the daily realities of his community. And with many seeing Scott Maphuma's music as not just being music, but something they can relate to. Many young South Africans saw themselves in his music, and Scott was quickly able to build a massive audience that made even some of his signature phases, Bathi Nibon, become more than just a lyric, as later it became part of amapiano culture. Scott Maphuma gave fans something to be proud of, something to move to, and something to even relate to. Thank you, Lord, for the glory you have done for Scott Maphuma. May you help others with the same dream as this superstar. I'm glad that you are now a celebrity, Scott Maphuma. It's time for Malume Scott to shine. However, it wasn't long until people started seeing the cracks beneath the lovable mask of Scott Maphuma. Scott Maphuma makes a mockery of a portrait gifted to him by a fan. Well, see, earlier this year when a fan proudly presented Scott with a painting of him, the amapiano artist just couldn't hide his disappointment. His unexpected reaction of "who is this?" had the people around him in stitches. However, on social media, fans were so disappointed about his behavior that they ended up blasting him with comments such as, "His behavior is incredibly rude. Every time I see a video of him, he's being disrespectful, absolutely disgraceful. There's nothing more despicable than an ungrateful person. He didn't have to do all of that. He could have stored it away and moved on. Give him 3 months, he will be there." While fans believe that even if Scott Maphuma didn't like the art piece, the least he could have done was to at least show some appreciation to a fan who who took time out of their day to show admiration to the amapiano artist, and with Scott's music career depending on his likability, showing appreciation could have been the best course of action. However, appreciating his fans was something Scott Maphuma clearly didn't care about.
Every video that I see of this guy, he's disrespecting people. I saw this one video where this girl tried to hug him and he was like, wow, get the fuck away from me. And I'm like, damn.
Well, it would seem like Scott Maphuma's actions were growing a lot of hate towards him. I mean, you know you're in trouble when the biggest critic on YouTube makes a video about you. This man's slick talk never lies, bruh.
You're not at the point where you feel like you can disrespect everybody and get away with it. And the thing you know about the music industry is there is no guarantees. Nobody can stick around forever. Like, nobody is guaranteed to a point where like you're always gonna be around. No, we've seen him come, we've seen him go.
Just 2 months after making fun of his fans' art, Scott Maphuma would again find himself under fire from fans who labeled him big-headed. And this came after videos of him made rounds on social media. On the videos, fans are seen competing for Scott's attention, and with him retaliating by shrugging them off him, or sometimes just And while the man came out to express his frustration with the lack of privacy and the demands that come with being a celebrity, I can't spend every minute of my life being Scott Maphuma. When am I going to be normal again? And with his plea sparking conversation about mental health and the well-being of celebrities and the importance of maintaining a healthy work life. However, on the other hand, Slick Talk had this to say about the man who was quickly becoming the most hated man in South Africa.
If a guy like AKA who's been famous for over a decade can be humble, who the fuck are you, Scott Maphuma? You just became famous yesterday. And now you want us to feel sympathy for you because you're famous? Oh, I can't even go outside. I miss my normal life. Boo-hoo, nobody cares.
Now, instead of just accepting that he has found himself in a world where privacy is a luxury and the traces of a normal life were just a distant memory for him, well, the man has continued to maintain that he doesn't feel obligated to take pictures with every fan that he meets.
If I can yak, you just snap at yak. I don't feel like it.
And you know they don't understand. They don't understand that. If we tell,
unfortunately,
Scott Maphuma argued that as a celebrity he doesn't feel entitled, and he also doesn't understand why some fans behave as if they are. Well, now being labeled the next big thing in amapiano, which is literally one of the leading genres in South Africa, can sometimes come with fame some of us will never understand. I mean, being asked for pictures all the time and wherever you go, no matter the weather, no matter how you feel, can sometimes come with its lows, which some fans actually expressed sympathy and understanding for his predicament. It's absolutely okay for someone not to be in their best mood and not want to take pictures. He's human too. However, not everyone is sympathetic to the artist's concerns. It comes with the job of being a celebrity. You forfeit private life for those that love and support your craft. There's no time to have a bad day when you'll be replaced in 2 days. It's like expecting a doctor on their bad day to tell a person with a bullet wound, "I'm sorry, I can't operate on you today. I don't feel well." Now, while fans were voicing their concerns online, on the other hand, Scott Maphuma was performing at a sold-out show in London despite all the backlash he was facing at the time. However, everything came crashing down on him when the man doubled down and said that if you don't want to listen to my music, that's okay. No one owes anyone anything in this life.
Because at the end of the day, it's their ears, it's their data, it's their everything. Like, it's like that for me.
Well, with that assertion, Scott Maphuma will set in motion in what I think is the most satisfying downfall of all time, as it divided a significant portion of his fan base.
What Scott's fucked up is, yes, he doesn't want pictures, he doesn't want whatever.
Okay.
That's okay, but then in the UK, you couldn't have enough pictures. It was even, what's it, when you go in the crowd?
Oh, crowd surfing.
Yeah, it was even crowd surfing. Well, he couldn't have enough pictures. But as soon as he lands in SA,
The backlash escalated further following his lukewarm performances at recent events such as Cotton Fest and Coyote's Lounge in Bombela, where audience reactions range from uninterested to indifferent. Now, you'd think that Scott Maphuma had finally learned his lesson, but that wasn't the case, as he took to Instagram to troll his fan base. Turn hate into love. If I stop, I reciprocate the hate. But if I don't, I love those who love me, and those who misunderstand me, I see in goob. Well, seems like Scott Maphuma thought that like his previous work, this was just a passing storm too. However, with event organizers cancelling Scott Maphuma from their lineups of future events, this would finally seem to be his waking call, as the man quickly realized that he actually does need those fans, in a desperate bid to mend the cracks with his supporters.
Frustrating. But it's
forgiveness. Wow, forgiveness.
Yeah, but sorry.
Scott Maphuma will take to social media again, this time with an apology that's, well, sincere. Those who are angry with me, I'm sorry. It's a misunderstanding. Well, in response to the apology, many social media users would call more venues to cancel Scott Maphuma's upcoming performances, and while many of his fans are left feeling disappointed by his behavior, I think this comment better sums up why Scott Maphuma's downfall is most satisfying. You wanted space, I guess bakuzwile abantu.